and horticultural products import raw materials duty-free under the EAC duty remission scheme. Packaging materials of all goods, including packaging for tea, also attract 16% like any other. Imported packaging materials attract excise duty at the 25% of the excise value, but I will give the latest information about that. Various government agencies charges fees or levies for services rendered to producers or manufacturers. Now, but I want to just point out, Honorable Speaker, two things. That in the finance bill of 2025, we have done two things. Number one, we are proposing to exempt packaging materials used for tea and coffee from VAT. This exemption will only apply when packaging materials are imported or locally purchased, with a recommendation from the Cabinet Secretary responsible for agriculture, given that the use of these materials isn't exclusive to coffee and tea packaging. This measure aims to protect these crucial sectors while also safeguarding government revenue. But the second thing that we have done is under custom duty. On the custom side, Mr. Speaker, last year, Kenya was granted a stay of application of the EAC Common External Tariff on certain paper products to apply a higher duty rate of 25 to 35% to support domestic packaging materials. However, this negatively impacted exporters, such as the tea industry. To address this, Kenya did not request an extension of the stay of application of the EAC Common External Tariff on these paper products during this year's EAC pre-budget consultations, which I led in Arusha. And actually now, Mr. Speaker, I want to report that we have gone back to the EAC CET rates of 10% like any other country in the East African region. On question number 35B, what specific taxation measures is the ministry planning to implement in the financial year 25-26 to eliminate double taxation and other necessary taxes that overburden farmers and stakeholders in the tea industry? I wish to respond as follows. I would like to clarify that there is no double taxation in the tea subsector. As regards to specific tax measures for the coming financial year, we are currently reviewing submissions from the public, but we have already reviewed the submissions from the public anyway. I think this answer should be amended to read that we have already considered and have just read some of the steps that we are taking to reduce taxation, which would support the tea subsector. So I have mentioned that the various incentives. I don't want to repeat them again. I want to go straight to 35C, Mr. Speaker. Could the Cabinet Secretary outline the challenges faced in previous attempts to eliminate some of these taxes and levies on tea and explain action taken to address them? I wish to respond as follows. While there may be challenges affecting the tea subsector, Honorable Speaker, the national government continues to extend numerous incentives to the subsectors outlined above. From consultation with the regulations in the tea subsector, various actions by various government entities are ongoing to address the burden of the fees or levies in the tea subsector. Some of these measures include enactment of Tea Act 2020, which reduced the management fee payable by tea factories from 2.5% to 1.5%, thus saving tea farmers approximately 1 billion annually from management fee to Kenya Tea Development Authority. There is the ad valorem levy of 1% of the customs value of exported teas, which was scrapped in 2016. The agricultural produce cess of 1% of green leaf was also scrapped in 2016, saving quite significant amount. And since July 2016, the government replaced the levy scrapped with a government grant to fund operations of Tea Research Institute and Tea Board of Kenya, which support the tea industry development programs such as research in tea, trade promotion, and market development, amongst others. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, Kenya's tea industry remains a vital pillar of our economy, supporting millions of livelihoods and contributing significantly to national development. Through the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the government is committed to strengthening the tea value chain to ensure sustainable growth. I thank you.
Honorable Senator James Morango, you may ask your 2 supplementary questions.
Asante sana, Mstahiki Speaker. Mstahiki Speaker, swali langu la kwanza zilikuwa kwa takwimu waziri aweze kupeana zile anda na kondi zote ambazo zinalipwa na wakulima majani chai. Mstahiki Spika, nimeona amejibu na kusema venye serikali inafanya ambayo ni sawa, lakini jibu langu hakujibu. Mstahiki Spika, kulingana na nakala niko nazo, mkulima majani chai kutoka mbunge la kitaifa, kutoka serikali kuu mpaka zile za ugatuzi, analipa anda na kulipa kondi tofauti 42. Na nilipokuwa mwenyekiti wa kamati ya ukulima, tulikuwa tumekaa chini na kuwa tumeelewana kwamba serikali itajaribu kupunguza hizi. Lakini kwa sababu ambazo sijaelewa, waziri hakuziweka wazi. Kwa hivyo ningetaka kusema Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa swali hilo sikuridhika na majibu ambayo waziri amepeana siku ya leo. Kwa sababu Mstahiki Spika, nilikuwa natarajia kama ni taasisi ama halmashauri ya kuokota kondi, inaokota kondi zaidi ya 5 hapa. Ukiangalia halmashauri ya Nema ina kondi inaokota. Ukiangalia kama ni taasisi yafa kuna kondi inaokota. Ili tuweze Mstahiki Spika kujibu swali na kuendelea mbele, ningeomba waziri anapoenda anijibu hili swali ili niweze kusema na sema. Swali la pili, Mstahiki Spika, ni kwamba katika bunge la kitaifa kuna nakala ambazo waziri aliweza kupeleka pale mwaka huu, ambayo ilikuwa ina kondi mpya ambazo zilikuwa zinafaa pia kutozwa wakulima kahawa. Mstahiki Spika, hiyo sheria ambayo iko katika bunge la kitaifa na niko na nakala hapa ambayo iliwekwa katika gazeti la serikali. Ningetaka kuuliza wasili, kilimo cha msingi kitawekwa kondi mpaka lini? Kwa sababu nchi zinazoendelea kilimo cha msingi akiwekangu kondi na anda ili mkulima aweze kunufaika na mazao yake. Asante sana Mstahiki Spika.
Honorable CS, you may proceed to respond.
Mr. Speaker, I tried to put together some of the taxes that are and levies that are put or charged on tea right from the farming level. I put a paragraph. The tea processing, I put a paragraph. Marketing and distribution, I also put a paragraph. If the honorable member has any other levies that need not to be there, I think the best thing to do is to recommend for those levies to be removed. But as far as I'm concerned, I have enumerated what I am aware of are taxes and levies on tea. I think he has talked about some amendment that is in Parliament to put some charges on coffee. Yes. Maybe you, Honorable Speaker, with your permission, you can explain again. You can come and repeat the question again.
Mstahiki Spika, ukinipa nafasi nitamwonyesha waziri.
Honorable CS, if you need time to acquaint yourself with that particular document, you may say so.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I'm trying to check because my understanding was that we were reducing those rates. And so it's just demonstrated to me the rates that are on the first schedule and the second schedule. My understanding is that those rates were coming down. But if they are going up, I may need to check and address that. But I am almost certain that the rates were higher than what is being provided. And so what we were trying to do is to reduce the rates to make coffee more competitive. Mr. Speaker.
Senator Edwin Sifuna.
Honorable Speaker, in line with the question by the Senator for Kirinyaga on measures to reduce double taxation, unnecessary taxes and overburdening of farmers and Kenyans in general, I would like the CS to address one question. Honorable Speaker, we have had the ministry, actually the CS himself, taking credit that this year's finance bill has no new taxes. But I know it's credit to the Gen Z who have struck the fear of God in this government. They will not attempt to bring new taxes. What are you doing about existing taxation, Cabinet Secretary, that you found, including the housing levy, the increase in pay, and VAT on fuel, that has seen the cost of taxes on a litre of petrol exceeding the cost of the product? I thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Senator Mofai.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Mine is a supplementary question. CS Treasury. Honourable Speaker, this country has witnessed for decades some grievous disparities in distribution of developments across the country. Talk of roads, talk of water, talk of industries and so forth. So as the minister in charge of the National Granary, is there any written policy that is supposed to guide you on how you are supposed to distribute the national developments? And I'm asking this, Honourable Speaker, on behalf of very many Kenyans. You find some areas have been neglected for decades. Other areas are endowed with better roads, water, and so forth and so forth. Is there any existing policy, for that matter, that a Kenyan can quote maybe from Tharaka or from Northeastern or from any other part of this country where there are no such kind of developments? What is it, what criteria do you use to determine where you are supposed to put up roads, where you are supposed to put up water, and so forth and so forth? Is there any existing policy for that matter? Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable CS, you may, if in a position to respond to that question, you may, because it is not related to the primary question. The Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I have a question to the Cabinet Secretary in regards to his response on page 6. Unfortunately, Minister, I'll have to tell you that none of these items that you have listed was done to the tea farmers. This is a topic very close to my heart, and therefore I know every single intervention that is done. In the fiscal year that you're referring to, 2023-2024, you have quoted in your response, Mr. Minister, that there was provision of processing equipments to tea cooperatives. It is now in this financial year that there's an attempt to put 3.5 billion shillings to support aging tea factories. And even that, I'm not sure whether the National Assembly Budget Committee will maintain it. So I'll have the Minister check with his records and the people in the ministry whether any of this has been done, because to the best of my knowledge, there is no tea cooperative that was supported with this. With regards to establishment of this, what is calling Tea Value Addition Hub, construction is yet to begin of the common user facility that the government promised tea farmers in the country. And therefore, it will be important for the minister to let us know when construction of this common user facility will commence. There was a promise of 1 billion shillings to KTDA through its subsidiary Ketepa that this was going to be set up in Kericho. I do not know to this date, Mr. Speaker, when that facility will be available for farmers. The same can be said, Mr. Speaker, about Part C of his question, because it needs to be quantifiable. If the minister had given us the specific figure of how much that export market development the government committed to, we'd appreciate, because it is one of the interventions that we seriously need. Lastly, Speaker, just a comment to the minister, because you know we are representatives of people, and when there's an opportunity, I appreciate that transportation of tea to factories is VAT exempted. I do not understand, Mr. Minister, why in every finance bill, last year it had to be removed, and even in this year's proposal, transportation of sugarcane to factories is subject to VAT. I don't know why at Treasury they want to treat tea farmers and sugarcane farmers separately, yet they are all citizens of this republic. So while I appreciate what is done for tea farmers, I'd wish that the Treasury does the same for sugarcane farmers as well. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable CS, you have 3 minutes to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll try to be fast. Yes, it is true that we have not made major changes in taxes that would disadvantage the taxpayer or individual taxpayers in terms of reducing their disposable income. And this was a commitment. Yes, I know Senator Sifuna is attributing it exclusively to Gen Z. Partly true, partly not true. Honorable Senator Sifuna very well knows my stand on taxes. Even before I joined the cabinet or the executive, I am one person who does not believe that higher taxes would lead to more revenue or higher tax rates. And that is my stand. I've spoken about it. Maybe we share that idea with Gen Zs, but so it cannot be exclusively the Gen Z's ideas. And I think the government is also sold into the idea that now, where we have reached, we cannot go further to reduce disposable income. On housing levy, I think there is a discussion around seeing how to restructure it, because again, it has serious benefits, in my view. Quite a number of projects are coming up, but at the same time, the individual employees, those with pay slips, have complaints, which you cannot ignore. So a lot of restructuring is going on, and I am sure that more pronouncements will come in due course. On the issue of payee, again, also we are looking, actually this financial year, when we were preparing the finance bill, we even did some simulation on how to reduce the pay as you earn. But what stopped us from implementing it with this finance bill, and I think we are going to consider it in the next finance bill, alongside the reduction of corporation tax or corporate tax from 30% to 28%, we considered reducing to 28%, was the failure by KRA to meet its revenue targets. And so we thought that as we carry along with the reforms at the KRA, we should not be doing too many things at the same time. First, let us see what the reforms at KRA, in terms of automation and in terms of making it efficient, is